you're in trouble.
What's up, nerds? Phoenix from Phoenix TV here with another episode of Let's Play Minecraft. Today, I've received a request to build a zombie pigman farm. Now, I've built some version of this in previous seasons of Minecraft, but this time around I think I've got a pretty solid design that I'm totally not borrowing from a video called Dirt Cheap Pigman Farm. But this should be a pretty complex build, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to finish it in today's episode, but if I play my cards right, I think maybe, just maybe, I can have it. I've finished it. Yeah, the design is pretty straightforward. It's not the most efficient thing you're ever going to see me build, but it should, however, be a pretty simple and straightforward farm, despite the fact there aren't a ton of pigmen around here. Because apparently, if I fall in this hole, and they'll fall in on me, they can't hit me in the same block. So this guy can just look at me angrily as I kill him to death. There you go, Brad. There's your zombie pigman farm. No, in fact, this episode is going to start in the exact opposite climate. I'm planning to expand on the Happy's mini golf thing. I've been working on some other hole designs, and I think they're pretty solid. They look pretty cool. They're definitely some of the better looking things I've ever made. And the function of them is really cool, and frankly, a mini golf course needs more than, you know, one hole. So I'm going to collect just a little bit more ice. I don't know that I need it, but it wouldn't hurt to have it just in case, and there are going to be more holes after this, hopefully, if I have any more ideas for them. But yeah, I've taken out most of this spike. I'll go ahead and clear out the top of this, and then I will head on into Gameland and start building. While I wait for the red wool sheep to not have his grass eaten by all these new little baby green and lime green sheeps, I figured I'd go ahead and point out the stuff I need for these various holes. This is sort of the gist of it. I mean, I'm missing a few pieces, but it's the same as it was before. It's packed ice, and then on top of that I'll use carpet to match the colors. I've got a bunch more stored up over at the actual mini golf area, because I didn't want to store it over here, and I needed to collect it over time, because it's quite a bit of carpet, believe it or not. And then some dirt for various terraforming. These are my fences. I have extra dark oak wood that I'm sure I'm going to need. I need to go back up to the top and grab some gravel, but again, in the meantime, I'm mostly just waiting for the red sheep that I've added down here to my little, very, very small sheep pen to get his wool back, so we can get this thing going, so I can have the flags, so we can wrap this up, I guess. Anyway, I'm going to get back to waiting. Okay, I'm about to really confuse myself, but basically, to make my recording work properly, and to know what I'm doing so I don't spend a whole bunch of time cutting back and forth between the build world and this one, I screenshotted the build for the first hole that I want to make here, but my recorder only wants to record my other screen, which is not the screen I do pretty much anything else on. So I'm going to be really confused trying to work at a weird angle. And it's only a weird angle for me. For everyone else, it's probably the more natural one they would always want to use. But for me, it's weird. So let me see what I can do about getting this thing started, and we'll start connecting some pieces. Because this one is supposed to be sort of like the other one's going to ramp up just a little bit, and by ramp up I mean it's going to curve just ever so slightly to the right. But the decoration around it is supposed to be the fun part, so let me go ahead and throw in the pieces on that, and we'll see where that ends up. So, in what's going to be a bit of a sizable cut, this is hole 2, the garden. I've created a pathway design. It's hard to call it a design. It's really just gravel on the ground and a dark oak fence to line it up. But this is the garden. Those vines I need to grow a little bit more, but the gist of it is it's a pretty simple hole. You just try and get it to go around that corner in 2 shots if you can do it, really. Like that. There we go. Yeah, that's hole 2. It's the garden. Yeah, the vine's going to keep growing. I've lined it with birch leaves and dark green carpet to try and give it more of that plasticky look that, not plasticky, uh, felt-like look, I guess. You know what I'm referring to. Anyway, yeah, that's hole number 2 all wrapped up, and now I'm going to take a bit of a break before I continue work on hole 3 because, number 1, the gravel resources in this world, not the most established. Apparently no one has ever used gravel before. And secondly, I don't have super long today, so I'm going to try and knock out some other stuff while I have a little bit of time as compared to beating my head against a wall trying to knock this thing out and not getting anything else done. So I'll come back to this in the next day or two, and we'll see how much progress I've made. And I'm back. What you can see from here so far is I've done just a little bit of work on the next hole. This one's got sort of a throw it short and then throw it over a hump thing. It'll make a bit more sense once I finish getting the pieces in, because I don't think I showed you a picture of it. But yeah, I just got to make sure I get my numbers right. That way this works exactly as planned, which will be, I just counted that and then I forgot to count it again. That should be 9 and then a 10th one. There we go. And then this is going to dip down here by 3. Got to knock out this tree as well. But yeah, this should be pretty straightforward. The pattern's not super complicated for me. For anyone else who's trying to do it, I can see it throwing them off, which is kind of the idea. Because at this point, the maps are, or the individual holes are going to be a little less talent focused, I guess. Not talent focused. A little less pretty, and a little bit more focused on, planning ahead and making good shots. Will that be the case? Probably not. I know the people on this server, I imagine it's going to be a horror show, and I'm looking forward to it. But for now, let me get back to this, and I'll see you in a minute. I, along with the zombie way over in the right corner, who totally doesn't realize I can see him, I am proud to present this hole here. Obviously, there's a lot more carpet that needs to go in, but I don't have any more at the moment. Nor do I think I have any immediate access to more. And with this episode coming out really, really soon, and a really condensed schedule to do stuff, thanks to Lady Phoenix being back in school, still proud of her regardless of how inconvenient it can be sometimes. Yeah, I've kind of got to leave it here. But I will demonstrate how it works. It's pretty straightforward. You stand on this thing, and then you go over the hole. Now the kicker here is if you throw it just right, it'll stop somewhere in this area, and then you can jump and throw it over. And it should have went in. Decided to not do that time, so it's a hole in 3. But regardless, the big problem there is if you try and go for the long shot, you're going to end up in the hole, in that little dip down there, I do believe. Or was it that you want to get it down in the dip? I don't remember. It's been a while since I did this. But if you fall down here and then throw it over, it slides just fine. Alright, that's what it was. Is that it's supposed to be kind of tricky. So tricky, even I forgot how tricky it's supposed to be. So yeah, if you throw it too short, which is super easy to do, then you gotta throw it from back here, and then the throw is just a little too long. But I do need to figure out a way around that. I don't remember what I did. Did I move the hole back? I don't know. I'll have to play with it and test it between now and whenever I come back to this place. But anyway, it's been Phoenix from Phoenix TV. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, etc., etc. And thanks for watching.